I'm starting the stream. I'm live. See, we're actually on telly.
Oh, it's got a bit of a delay, hasn't it?
It has for us, but not for anyone else watching it. And we hope if anyone does log on, that you get a little bit of fun and a little bit of opportunity to see us live and in action. And we would like to welcome you to both Ludus Vulpes and Scotland.
Yes.
As we are in Scotland, we are currently pending going to Tabletop Scotland to start the event tomorrow, I think is the schedule.
Yeah. We haven't even done the intro, Phil.
Okay, so off you go.
Welcome to Ludus Vulpes. My name's Kirsty.
I'm Phil. And it is a pleasure to see you all.
Yes, it is.
So this is a little bit of an on-the-road experiment, which hopefully will go right.
Fingers crossed. We are on temporary Wi-Fi at a temporary accommodation for the weekend. So hopefully it will not drop out like it has twice on the lead up to us setting this up. So we will see.
Well, if you can join us live, we very much appreciate it. We've got a little game to play, and we're going to play that game. But at the same time, hopefully, we'll talk about things that might be of interest to you. We'll have a look at what's going on as well. So, Kirsty, do you want to just introduce this cute little game?
Yep. So this game is T-Rex's Holiday, and T-Rex's Holiday was purchased at the UK Games EXPO from Taiwanese Board Game Designs. And it's a fantastic little roll and write game where one of the dice is hidden from the other players. Now, I'm not going to go into an in-depth review because we'll do that separately, but we're going to be playing that tonight while we chat to you about all things exhibitions and us and what we've been doing recently.
Cool. Well, do you want to open the box? Because we've got some dice and we want to start playing. So the one thing we will be doing is hiding the dice from each other.
Mm-hmm. Ta-da!
I'm just going to move that out of the way slightly. And here we go. So we're going to pull this down here and... Oh, I'm starting.
Yes.
So
Phil can be the starting player in this game.
So in essence, I'm going to be rolling dice and I'm going to be filling him in on this sheet. There are various rules, but don't worry about that too much. So the last time you saw us, we were heavily at the UK Games Expo.
Yes, we were.
So I don't know, what did we think of the UK Games Expo?
I feel like this year it had a bit of an Essen vibe, to be honest. There was a bit of a buzz that haven't really felt for a while there, and it felt very shopping orientated like Essen is, but it was fantastic to meet up with some wonderful people and catch up on some fantastic projects, so that was really enjoyable. What were your initial thoughts, Phil?
I thought we had a great time, and I think after a sort of shaky start coming back from lockdown and COVID and all those kind of things, it felt like Expo had rediscovered a little bit of its magic and was thoroughly enjoying itself and enjoying what it was doing. And that, to me, was a real positive, because I felt like the last few years it was struggling to find itself. I need to reveal the hidden dice now.
So T-Rex's dice is...
T-Rex's dice is a 5. So it's got to go in the 5 sections. But I thought that was fine. But yeah, it felt like the UK Games Expo had rediscovered some of its magic, which was kind of wonderful. And it was good to meet and catch up with a lot of people, and we had a wonderful time. And we kind of bumped into... I'm going to sort of highlight sort of one highlight for me, which was bumping into Guy Allen from Tabletop Spirit magazine. Oh yeah. And
hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy. And we had the tables turned on us, where a guy decided that it would be great if Tabletop Spirit magazine could interview us for a change, and we're like, you want to interview us? Are you sure you want to do that? That's not necessarily part of our plans for today. So yeah, it was nice to be interviewed, and the really nice thing is, thanks for that. The really nice thing, that really wasn't what I wanted there. The really nice thing was that Tabletop Spirit magazine published that article this week or last week, and yeah, it's been nice to be able to share a little bit of the history of the channel, a little bit about what we do, and why we love covering events so much. And so that was, for me, was one of the real highlights from Tabletop Spirit, from Expo, was Tabletop Spirit magazine and meeting up with Guy. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. It's so different when the shoe's on the other foot, isn't it? Having to answer questions, well, that's different. I'm very used to obviously answering the question and making people feel comfortable and doing the best on that side of things, and it's very different when you're answering questions and having to open up, I suppose, to the audience. And yeah, I found that quite challenging actually, but interesting. It was good. Sorry, tricky. These are my dice. Yeah. So I'm definitely glad that I did it. I really enjoyed it. Would I do it again?
Yes, we would.
Yeah, I think I would. Definitely would.
And we're hoping to collaborate with
space.
Yeah, we're hoping to collaborate with him a bit more as well. That'd be really nice. So yeah, Tabletop Spirit. Any other sort of highlights for yourself?
One moment, I am placing dice.
Okay, so the other thing for me was at Expo was we kind of changed our format up a little bit, and we provided a lot more example rounds of games, which was, from a filming point of view, was a little bit more challenging, a little bit more complex, but that in itself was quite nice to deliver something that was a bit different to what we've done in the past. So instead of just sitting down with people and doing an interview, instead of just sitting down and doing an interview with people, we were in a position where we were definitely able to do a mini interviews, little intros to games, and then actually show you part of the games that we were playing. And that's something I think we're going to continue at Tabletop Scotland, because I felt like it worked really well and gave you a little bit. If you've enjoyed the interviews in the past, hopefully that demo round was the opportunity to really look at how you might have interacted if you were there and been able to sit down and play the game. So that's the kind of thing we were gunning for with that. And fingers crossed, if you have watched any of that content and you liked it, hopefully you can give us a bit of a thumbs up and say, yeah, that was good and that was something you liked, because that would be nice to think that people actually enjoyed watching that, because I think we'll continue to do it. Oh, a 5 and a 2. Just what I wanted. Oh, actually, no, 5 works there quite nicely. And the 2, I can't put it in there. Yes, I can. Okay. So that for me was a real positive of what we were doing. I think the another that's unpleasant. Another positive for me was our opportunities really to deliver on what we promised last year on the press preview.
Oh yeah.
The press preview
the
press preview the year before, we managed to do maybe 10, 12 videos and get them released on the night. Yeah. And this year at Expo, we managed to get something like 23 videos released on the evening before Expo, which was just exhausting. I was like, no more.
That's why I have, similar to today, panda eyes. Thankfully, the lighting is not as good here as it is in the studio.
Yes,
so
sorry for the lighting.
It just looks like, shadows. But actually, that was a really, really that was tricky on a number of reasons. So there was a change this year in the way in which UK Games EXPO did the awards, in which they presented the judges' awards at the press evening, which is fantastic. And obviously, as part of the press, you're expected to cover, those awards being given out. But unfortunately, I think there was a slight miscommunication. And it was a bit of a free-for-all run into the tables, and they had to call everyone back to get back to the judges, which took quite a bit of time, and unfortunately meant that by the time the awards actually started, we were probably about an hour into the press preview. By the time we got...
By the time the awards ended,
yeah, the awards had ended, and we got to actually start interviewing people, which was between 6 and 9. So actually we were supposed to have 3 hours, and we ended up having 2 hours to run around like Billy-O and just, you know, meet as many people as we possibly could and showcase a whole variety of different games, some of which I paid more attention to than others. And actually one of the key highlights probably for me on that press night was meeting Golden Donut Games. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Golden Donut Games. So, hi everyone. At Golden Donut Games.
Chip and Collect?
Chip and Collect, yeah. And I'm sure any of you that haven't seen it, definitely go and check out that video. Fantastic little game. Wonderful family connection there. Beautiful little COVID project, which has come to fruition. So definitely one to go and check out.
So I'm just going to remind Kirsty that she's got these dice to play.
I know, I'm doing it. Okay, I've done this.
Cool. It's the Trex dice is 3. Yeah, meow, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yes.
So you're going to go in there. So it was, yeah, Chip and Collect was lovely, and Golden Donut Games are lovely. It's a father and daughter team, and they've kind of crafted the whole thing for themselves
Daughters,
team. Crafted the whole thing for themselves.
Jasmine and Summer.
Yep, for themselves during
Dad,
lockdown, and yeah, this was their second year selling at Expo and demoing at Expo, and they'd had a really good time, which was lovely. It was great to catch up with the team from Decking Awesome Games as well. We had a lovely time with them, and then we went and played and most of that video is online.
Yes, it is.
Of Bots and Titan.
Fantastic game.
A lot of fun there, so that was well worth it as well.
It's worth mentioning actually, just if anybody wants to know, Decking Awesome Games will be showcasing bumper bots at Tabletop Scotland at 12 noon
in the
playtest zone. So go and check that game out. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
definitely
a lot
worth
of fun.
Play.
Slightly chaotic, a bit of worker placement, and yeah, anything could happen, and watch your space. But you hopefully enjoy yourself whilst doing it. It's not quite so chaotic that you can't actually have a little bit of control over it. No. So it's a lot of fun. So that was nice and really enjoyable. And I think it's those opportunities to catch up with people we've not seen for 12 months sometimes, which is a wonderful thing. So yeah, it was really nice to meet up and catch up with old friends and friends and new. So yeah, I've got a 6 and a 3. That's not so. Actually, 3 can go in there, and I can cross that out, and the 6 can go in my little 6 stash there, and a 2.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks for the 2.
You're welcome.
Yeah, UK Games Expo rediscovering its old magic, I would say, and I think that's a real.
Yeah.
For me, it was really nice to see. It felt like it was heading back to like the kind of things that happened pre-COVID, and just a real sense of positivity, which hopefully all of you who attended Expo felt largely the same way.
So, as a fairly new gamer, i.e. pre-COVID-esque, but my first exhibition being post-COVID, it definitely felt like the UK Games Expo was the busiest I'd ever seen it. And interestingly, the Saturday, I think, felt a little bit quieter than the Friday.
Possibly, yeah.
But I don't know if that was certain halls feeling busier than others. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, I just seen these two.
I think one of the things that is worth mentioning that that was at the expo was the demos for Lacana, which has apparently just blown up the world over the last couple of weeks. So if you are enjoying Disney Lacana, please let us know. If you are not wanting to know anything about Disney Lacana, you can't be bothered with another trading card game, let us know that as well. We're undecided whether we're going to cover it on the channel. It's a bit of an investment, and Kirsty's not always the most fond of pure card games, so
sorry.
No, it's fine. And I think it's one of those where sometimes card games are, you think, right, okay, Kirsty isn't fond of pure card games, like straight on card games, but one of her favourite games is Edge of Darkness, AEG's card crafting masterpiece. And that is about as cardy as a card game gets, and yet she doesn't like straightforward card games, and it almost makes no sense to me that you'd like that would be one of your top games, and yet
it's a completely different style of game. So in Edge of Darkness, for those that don't know, you get to craft your own cards. So the cards are clear and have different sections in which you can, if this was the card, for example, let me put that there, that section would be information, this would all be clear, or that section would be information, that would be clear, that would be clear, or that section would be information and all that would be clear. And the idea is that you layer up these different sections of the cards to create the perfect card. And actually, when you have the power to manipulate the cards and I can actually make a difference, for me, that's fantastic. What I don't like is when there is zero power and you've got cards and there's nothing that you can do to change those cards. That's what I don't enjoy about certain card games.
So Lacana might not be on our to review list. Have I got a T-Rex dice, by the way?
Yes, you have.
Thank you very much. So yeah, Lacana might not quite be on our review list. So yeah.
I don't know. Someone can lend us a pack of their cards, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, donations are welcome.
Yeah, we'll give it back. It's all in good.
So yeah, it was another sort of plus for me was playing Cults of Bleakpire with Tom from Trons and Rerolls.
Hi Tom.
Hi Tom, hope you're doing well. And that was the first time I'd encountered the game, first time I played the game, and I thought it was a really smooth and well streamlined game, which to me made it feel much. Yeah, it was an interesting game. It worked well. Not always the easiest to see clear strategies on, but once you can see clear strategies and develop those strategies, actually you can really focus and fix it in on those strategies, and it was a real positive to see that. And Tom is like a really great guy. There's your Trex dice, a really great guy, and yeah, it was. Why have I put that dice there anyway?
What? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom was a great guy and really demoed the game exceptionally well and made it very clear and easy to follow. So that was a real positive contribution there as well.
Sorry, I forgot I'm supposed to be meowing every time I do the dice.
I don't think you have to meow every time you do the dice.
Okay. It's just rude not to.
For those who don't know, T-Rex is not a dinosaur with arms like this. T-Rex in this instance is the game designer's cat, which is surprisingly short-limbed according to the instruction book, and therefore the cat ended up with the name T-Rex.
I think it's adorable.
It is pretty cute, to be fair. There we go. Okay, I'll take my Trex dice now. But it might look like a dinosaur-related game on the front cover, but it's in fact a kitten-related game. So always great
Hence
to have a kitten-related game.
I think you definitely have to meow when you roll the dice.
Okay, meow. How's that for a meow? Was that a good enough meow, people? There you go.
I thought it's really interesting to meet up with people that we've obviously seen projects progress and change and evolve.
Ready for T-Rex dice?
Oh no, sorry, I haven't done those yet. I'm sorry, I was too busy talking. Okay.
Okay, there's your Trex dice. It's a 4. I know. It's
I
probably
didn't
not
want
even
that
the
one.
best.
I don't think I can place it actually. Oh no, I can't place it because I can't put it there.
7 out of 10 for the meows. Yes. I think Kirsty's might be better than mine. But thank you, Cydo Ninja.
I don't have to place the T-Rex dice, do I?
If you can legally place it, you must place it.
I can't place it. I don't.
Really?
In 3 or 4 zones, show me where I can legally place it.
No, you can't legally place it. So you
That's fine.
So yeah, it's Yeah, it was a thoroughly it was like a good experience, UK Games Expo, and long may it continue to carry on rediscovering its vibrancy and life. But other events will happen. As another dice for me.
Yes, I'm just working that out.
Other events will happen, and the one that's coming up this weekend is Tabletop Scotland, which genuinely very excited about. We've got 70 odd exhibitors there. There's got a nice large playtest zone, lovely open play area, the best lentil soup ever.
That money can buy.
Yep. apparently.
I love the lentil soup. I honestly, it just keeps me going all day. It's brilliant. It's
like an addiction.
Well, I like it. Let me know when you're ready for the T-Rex dice. Okay,
I'm ready for the T-Rex dice.
I'd like to talk about Tabletop Scotland, and those who have asked us, and those maybe who don't want to know, but this is our current feelings at the moment. Well, my current feelings. For me, it was Tabletop Scotland that changed the way in which, I think, not the way in which we do the channel, so to speak, but it was the first time that actually it made me go, oh, hang on, people actually watch this.
Yeah.
This isn't just a little bit of a hobby.
What's wrong with you people?
And it was a very surreal moment. So we'd gone up to Tabletop Scotland, and there'd been a slight hiccup with the tickets, which I think was our fault. We hadn't quite completed the form properly, or an email, and we got all our uniforms on that were all nice and shiny new, and it was lovely. And sorry, these are my dice.
Yeah.
I don't want these ones.
Tough. I didn't want them either, to be fair.
Hold that thought.
So yeah, we got to the door, and there were no press passes for us on reception. Although we thought we'd got them organised and coordinated, and we'd been rubbish with our admin, and it was very much our fault, and we definitely got a verbal agreement.
Yes.
4 is your Trex dice.
I can't legally play so 4. It's the same thing as last
time. I'm not playing strategically at all, tactically at all.
And but we're obviously all kitted out in the uniform. We're carrying the massive camera that Phil was carrying around, and we've got the mics on, and they were like, don't worry, we'll get it sorted, we're going straight through. And we'd said to Dave, what would you like covered? And he said, it's fine, it's up to you. So really appreciate you asking.
He asked us to cover sponsors, particularly, which we got round to pretty quickly. Yeah.
And then the rest of the world was that kind of like our choice. But I remember midway through the Saturday, I think it was, and I was starting to lose my voice a bit, and I was like, I need to go outside, just get some fresh air and get a drink. And I went outside, and when we came back in, the staff on the welcome desk and the ticketing office were watching our videos. And I was like, oh my God, people who can't actually get to the convention, even when they're at the convention, they can't get around. They're watching our interviews, they're having that experience. And for me, it was that one moment that changed everything for me. And then it was like, right, we've got to get around everyone. Because if you can't get here, there's no reason why we can't get the coverage to you. And then from then, it's been so important to me that we cover as many people, whether it's independent, whether it's huge organisation, every style of game. Yes, there were a few at Expo, which I was even surprised that I did a little bit of coverage on. I was in autopilot. But, it was a fantastic experience, and I'm so grateful that I went through that experience. Yeah. And so for me, Tabletop Scotland has got that real close personal connection for me, where things changed for me. There was a definite click and a change in process at that point.
I'd say Tabletop Scotland is an interesting one because it feels like there's more active exhibitors there than something like Aircon, and Aircon has got this massive push about open gaming and getting lots of people playing lots of games, and that's absolutely fantastic. Tabletop Scotland seems to find a bit more balanced perspective, has exhibitors, has open gaming, and yes, it was a really wonderful experience last year and felt very personal. And I think we feel very connected to Tabletop Scotland in a really nice way because it's just such a wonderful convention to be part of and to visit. So if you are watching this and you haven't had a chance and you might not get a chance this year, try and find time next year to go and visit Tabletop Scotland because it is a really wonderful conference that offers a lot to everyone, and you'll find some really lovely people there exhibiting not just games, but you've got Blue Fox Comics, Simon and Marielle. Hi guys, if you're not watching, that's fine. I'll tell you off later.
Sorry, have you done that?
I've done that, so
okay,
I'll take the thanks for the 2. That
You're
works.
welcome.
But yeah, you'll find the comic guys there, and they've got some amazing content. Simon's even found time to write a couple of choose your own adventures, which are well worth a read. But you get to spend more time with exhibitors at Tabletop Scotland than almost any other event I've ever been to, and that just makes it feel wonderfully personal, and helps you make connections with people that you respect, and the work they're doing is absolutely superb. So it's a really lovely place to be. I can heartily recommend Tabletop Scotland. I can't heartily recommend this roll of my dice, however, to anyone.
I'm trying not to look at the screen so I don't see it because I took them underneath, but I'm not sure that Phil does.
I do not.
So, yeah. This is a great little game, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to laminate a couple of these and we're going to dry white them because
we're racing through them
we are a little bit
at far too fast a rate of knots.
But it's great.
It is great. I'm going to put those 2 out there if that's okay. And I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to put that one in there. And it's a pretty great convention. And there's lots to sort of look out for this year as well, and it's just going to be quite exciting to see the people we met up with last year. Your T-Rex, our T-Rex dice is a 2, which I can legally place, but just didn't want to. So yeah, it's well worth a visit, and
we're taking a couple of extras along with us tomorrow as well.
Yes, your sister and her partner are over from the Czech Republic, so they will be visiting with us. And tomorrow our plan is to turn up and play some games. So if you're around and you see us and you've got a party game that you'd like us to join in with, please just give us a shout and we'll come over and play.
We'd love to do that.
We would.
We all love a good party game.
We do, even though I left 6 nymphs at home, which is a terrible admission, and I apologise. Thanks. That's just what I wanted, actually. We've also got a couple of interesting, or at least one interesting release coming out. Hachette Games pre-released CDSK at HandyCon, but their full release of CDSK is this weekend, and that's kind of like a Trivial Pursuit style game, but it's much more interesting than something like Trivial Pursuit. So if you get the opportunity to have a look at CDSK and you're interested in trivia games, especially with Christmas not too far away, I know we're still in summer, although it hasn't really felt like summer at all to anyone this year because of rain. But if you've had the torture of playing Trivial Pursuits at Christmas and it's like Monopoly, it gets dragged out each year, buy a copy of CDSK and take that to your family's Christmas gathering and play that instead. You won't be disappointed, and you'll find a much more palatable trivia experience. Yeah,
it's also got the express start as well, so if you're doing it between courses, that works well.
Yes, it won't overstay its welcome at that point. What's my T-Rex dice? Oh, I can't place it. It's fine. So we're nearing the end of this game, and the end of this game will be the end of...
I think I've messed up.
Have you?
Because I was talking. I didn't put my T-Rex dice here, but I don't know which one it was.
Take an average of 4.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, we'll when we finish this game, we'll have a quick chat and look at what we might have got. Oh, why did I roll those? What we've got coming up, and I'm ending the game.
What?
I can't.
I'm not ready yet.
I can only play one of the dice.
Okay.
Oh, that's really frustrating. So I'll put those 2 1s out.
What? I don't want to do that.
Actually, I'll put a 1 and a 2 out then. There you go, how's that? And...
What's the T-Rex dice, a 1?
Yes, it is a 1. So yes, that has unfortunately ended this game of T-Rex's Holiday. So the game ends when one of you cannot legally place one of the initial 2 dice that you roll. So we are at the end of our cute Taiwanese kitten adventure. And honestly, we are going through the roll and write pads on this one quite a lot. If you've got any questions about it, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll see if we can answer them as we go. And hopefully, for those of you who've been watching, you've found this very unplanned and relatively unstructured video interesting or entertaining at least. It's just an opportunity to test our technology. So thank you for being around and helping us test our technology because that's been fantastic. And if it's something that you'd like to see more of, please let us know. Should we do some scores?
Yeah, it's a bit impromptu tonight and we realised that. And normally we'd have a little bit more of a structure to it. But it was, we arrived, we know we're going to be playing games and all weekend, and actually it's nice to play a game and we thought we'd give it a go. I mean, the last time we went live was...
Many years ago now.
Yeah, when we went live for...
The 24-hour gaming marathon.
24-hour gaming marathon in aid of Alzheimer's Society.
Yes.
And we raised a fair whack of cash.
A couple of £1,000.
Yeah. Which was amazing. Yeah, so scores.
Right, so there's a bit of like heads down maths here. So this top section will score in an interesting way. Thank you very much. Hopefully, if there's anything you'd like us to do less of, maybe talk less, I don't know, let us know. But thank you for enjoying the stream, and thank you. I think the expecting piece of it, if we would probably like to structure it once a week, so we'll need to figure out a day that would make sense, an evening that would make sense, an evening of games with Kirsty and Phil.
Yes.
So if you've got any ideas about when that might be, please let us know.
Yeah. We're looking at Mondays or Tuesdays, but more likely maybe Tuesdays because obviously bank holidays fall on Mondays. Yeah, so maybe Tuesdays. At the moment, we're looking at doing perhaps a regular stream on a Tuesday.
No doubt we'll get more proficient and more professional as we become more practiced.
Professional? I don't think we've ever been professional.
But yes, and thank you for taking part and thank you for watching. It's been really nice to actually talk to you rather than just have a video that we put out. That's quite nice as well.
Yes,
and
it is.
And much more, I don't know, connected feel to it.
Yeah. It's all silent while the maths takes place.
I know, it's terrible. It's like, at least it's not a podcast because that would be worse because you'd just be listening to nothing.
I think it is worse, you know.
I don't know, listening to babble along might be worse. So that's 40, 50, 60.
I think Phil's won this one. I'm not going to lie. I'm fairly confident.
I have got a whopping 76.
What? I definitely don't have that.
Which is the highest score I've ever got.
So I've got 36, 46, 52,
62.
62.
69 is not far off.
69,
you know.
That's not bad,
No.
you know. I'll take that. I'll be happy with that today.
So for those of you who are still watching, what we're going to try and do we're going to try and keep it. Yes, some music in the background might be nice, especially
Countdown music, definitely, because I take too long choosing.
especially with we've got a lot of road noise. You might not be able to pick it up, but we certainly can behind us. So a little bit of music playing in the background might be quite nice, and I'll figure out how to get that working through OBS so it can just. When it gets a bit quiet, and we can do a bit more, something a bit more interesting with that as well. So that'd be lovely. We're
not in the studio obviously because we've arrived for Tabletop Scotland today, so we could be around to pick my sister and her fiance. Recently got engaged. Congratulations both. Up from Edinburgh in the morning, so we're going back down to Edinburgh to pick them up. back up to drop cases off, and then up to Perth to, or is it down to Perth? From where
I'm
we
not
are
sure.
now?
I think it's that way.
That way.
Yeah,
We're going that way across to Tabletop Scotland, have a nice chilled afternoon, no equipment, no microphones, no cameras, except for phones. I'm happy to take selfies and a few pictures with people, because that would be nice. And then the serious work starts on Saturday and Sunday.
It does.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Okay, guys, thank you for spending some time with us this evening. It has been lovely, and I did win, so that's probably the most important.
So now you want to finish the stream.
That's
no, but
that's the most important part.
Serious note, if you are going to Tabletop Scotland and you're going to be around and you see us around, come over and say hello. I get messages on Instagram and we get messages on Facebook saying,
"Oh, I saw you there.
Saying, I saw you there, I didn't want to come over. Please come and say hello." Nothing more warms my heart than someone coming over and saying, "Hi." That's so important to me. It hasn't happened since our subscriber base is improved, and we've done a little bit more here and there. It hasn't happened. And when we were at Essen in 2021 with 70 subscribers, 70 subscribers, somebody recognised us and came over and said hello while we were playing Giant Carcassonne. So hi, thank you so much for coming over. It would be great if more people said hello. Like we're just normal human beings. We don't bite. We're not going to ask anything from you. Just say hello. It just makes us, makes me get a nice fuzzy, warm feeling in my heart.
If you want to make Kirsty feel fuzzy, say hello. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for the evening. But thank you so much for sitting down with us and watching us play a silly game and chat about what's been happening. Game. It is a great game.
T-Rex would not like to be called silly.
He would not like to be called silly. Meow, meow, meow. So if you've enjoyed tonight, we will be doing it more often, hopefully once a week, and we'll see you then.
With studio lighting and sound.
But maybe on the road some more as well, because it's going to be kind of nice to be able to do it. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all very soon.
See you soon, everyone. Bye.
See you all. Bye-bye.